Welcome to this week's 7X Investors Look Ahead. This is where we'll take a look at a currency pair, an index, or a commodity like gold or oil, and give you our outlooks of what we see coming this week. Before doing that, we'd like to share with you a little bit about 7X Investors. It's a platform where you can develop a free account and join our community. In that community, you can be able to have free trainings, which we hold every Wednesday. You can also gain knowledge from other traders that are in the 7X community, or even in the other communities such as Alpha Trader or 7X Futures. As you attend the weekly trainings, you can be able to get a more in-depth understanding of what kind of trader you would like to become, whether it be in futures or in Forex or CFDs. Once you decide what you'd like to do, we have specialized trainers which will go through step by step on how to become a proficient, profitable trader. We have Cordell Stevens in the Alpha Trader section, which deals with trading CFDs or currencies. And we have Dan Kelly in 7X Futures, which trades futures in the NASDAQ, the S&P, and gold. At the end of this video, we encourage you to click the link below, which will take you to our website, and you can set up that free account. Also, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications of the site so that you can get notified every time we release our week ahead video. Now let's take a look on what's ahead. Hello traders, welcome to this week's look ahead. Today is February 6th, 2024, and we're going to be starting off here with the NASDAQ. Now this has been kind of a rough, choppy few weeks here, or last week and this week for the NAS. We had a breakout here, push out, but we're up against a really big level right here. This level sitting right here at 17,768. It's having a hard time hitting it there, but it's going to break it eventually. So don't worry, don't despair. This is going to continue to the upside move, and we have it long currently going up to about 18. We're just going to call it 18.5. How about that? Okay, 18.5 is where that's headed to. Now, something I need to let everyone know here, in the next few weeks, markets are going to get, well, let's just say they're going to get a little unpredictable, because we're getting up there really, really high, and I don't know if we make it to the next level beyond this one right here. We may not. But we're getting in an area right here, and I'm just going to draw this in so you can kind of understand what's going on here. We're getting into a level that's going to possibly get quite choppy. All right, that level right there, and if we break this level eventually, then we could get another level of choppiness, which sets above this one right up here. Okay, I don't think we go much further than that before we start getting a sizable downside move. Maybe going into bear territory. So something to consider when you're putting in trades, that we are up in the upper echelons where we could see quite a bit of activity, and that activity may not be favorable for trend trading, but more so in, I don't know, range or whipsaw trading or weird trading, stuff like, could go just all over the place here and really, get you messed up. So be aware of that, and make sure that you have the proper leverage when you put these trades in place. Make sure you have the leverage according to your stop loss. Very important at this trading period or time in the market, because it's going to possibly get very choppy. We had this nice trend coming up here. It was beautiful. And whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let me get that off. And then we had this nice trend coming up over here with some choppiness here, but we still had some trends on pullback. You see here, this is really getting nasty, and it's nasty because we're trying to break a level here, and this is a big level, so expect it to get nasty here. Okay, but once we break out, keep your powder dry so you can participate in this move. Push at least the breakout move, at least the initial breakout move of this resistance right here. It should be pretty good. If you incurred some losses in here, you can get those back here. But the pattern we see here is that, a pop, back pull, back retest, and eventually up to that level there. Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going.
It could go any which way to Sunday at this point. I'm not making that many predictions on how it's going to get there. I really don't know. It's just that I believe it's going to get to that level, and we'll just keep it high and dry and tight and make sure we have everything in place to get to that level until it gets there. How's that?
You know, I've waited years to hear somebody say that.
Next, we're looking at the S&P. Pretty much the same thing there. We're pretty much in a chop zone here. Pretty big resistant level up here, but I believe we swing up high. We hit this level again. We hit it at about 5,016 zone. Probably pull back there again. It's probably going to get kind of weird in here, but eventually I think we make it up here to the let's see, that's about 5,080, 5,084. That's where I see a pretty good sized target where we could at that point roll over and make a pretty good sized downside move. We'll see. Again, this is we're going into February. It's going to be a chop month. We'll probably come out the other side in March with a direction or a trend, and that's pretty much where we want to kind of figure out where we're going to next. And after that trend starts to ensue. Now, as of right now, we believe that the possibility that trend is going to be to the downside. There's some reasons for that. You know, some have to do with the Fed and its lending policies that are going away in March, and how, you know, these banks, where are they going to go to get the money they need to borrow? And then we have the bigger banks who are using that to, you know, borrowing at a 4.8% turnaround and lending it at a 5.8% or 5.4%, getting that arbitrage there to scale the difference and make money off of it. But that's going away in March. And so with that going away, we're going to have to see how things pan out here. I believe we're going to have a decent sized rollover and pullback. Could we go in a bear market? I don't know. Possibly we could, but we're going to play it as it comes into view. There's a lot that has to happen before we go into a bear market. I'm just not going to turn grizzly here on a whim, but once we do break certain levels, you're going to have to call it as it is. And it's probably, in my opinion, going to be a bear market. As I've mentioned in past videos, everyone knows that I'm bullish dollar, but I was also looking for a decent sized pullback to give us that newish or that shiny brand new bull run that we're expecting to have come in. I have not gotten that, and I thought we were going to head into a bull market over here, and dollar surprised us. It rolled over, it came back down, and it broke back into this channel, which generally means we're going to go lower. So I developed a scenario where we possibly go lower. We could go down to 94. That has not panned out. I've been neutral the dollar. I got long dollar on some other currencies, Euro dollar, Aussie dollar. Those I got stopped out of. The dollar has gradually continued to inch its way up. And so this is becoming very interesting to me, because if it does continue to move its way up, it's going to break this level here. It's going to head much higher. And so I'm just looking at this thing level to level. We just broke this 104 level, and we're coming back to retest it. I believe that dollar is going to start its progressionary state. You know, we have up to at least 105.36 possibly this week. If it breaks those levels, it could continue up and hit 109. Not this week, of course. I understand that. But I am looking for a level of about 10, what is that again? About 105 and some change this week. I think dollar continues up this week, even though markets are heading up. It's usually the inverse, but we're not seeing that anymore. Looks like it's forming a nice little reverse head and shoulders here, but I don't particularly put too much stock in those. But there it is. For all those who like reverse head and shoulders, there's your reverse head and shoulders. But yeah, we are really, there's some things happening here that are telling us that a big move is about ready to happen, and I believe it's going to be a bearish move. I think the dollar is signaling to us that is coming. Like I said, I don't know if I was expecting more than hoping. I think I was really hoping that the dollar would pull back more, but it's not proving to do that. And so we've got to take it as it is, what it's telling us. And so I'm going to just have to sit here and say bye-bye idea and look for the new breakout in dollar. I think we get it. I think we start to push up and at least hit again 105 and some change this week, and continue to push out to 109. That's my outlook for dollar. Next, let's take a look at oil. Now, oil, I like to see it go a tad bit more. It started to push out, broke back up. Push out and then broke back down, and now it could be heading up a little bit. If we could do something like this and then this, that'd be great. But it may not happen. So what's the deal? A solid break below this channel line. I'm going to take oil, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to sell down to 64, and that's the next target I'm looking to take oil to. But again, I would like it to swing higher before I do that. Something like up to here, 82, maybe 82 and some change, before we turn around and sell that. So probably not a trade going to happen on oil this week unless it breaks that channel line. If it breaks that channel line and holds below it, we are short for the long haul down to 64. Dollar yen is in this nice little range here. So we could be stuck in here this week here, maybe something down to here, back up, down, back. But once we break out of this, that's when we're going to look to get long, and we're going to look to get long up into this area here, and that area sets about 154, 155 is where we're looking to get long to. So it would probably break out here, pull back, retest, and that's where we'd enter. And then watch this come up, break those highs. You can get a little resistance there at 151, 152. It's probably going to pull back a little bit more there, and then something breakthrough and that up to target. So over the coming weeks, that's where we're looking for dollar yen to go to if it breaks out of this range here. Now again, if it breaks below this range, then we've got to reconsider the direction of dollar yen. But currently we're looking for a breakout of this range to the top side, and that will confirm that we get a target at least back up to 152, and then probably some ranging there until we get a break, and once we get that break up to 155. Dollar yen, another pair that's kind of tough to figure out here, but what I am looking for again is a breakout of the top channel. I believe it's going to break to the top side. So what can we see here? Well, definitely we've been in this thing for a long time ranging. So clear back in September, dollar yen has gone into a range. Now we could see this once again roll down somewhat, and then it could start to do something like this. It could tighten up. We could get something like a wedge coming along in here. It could tighten up and then break top side, retest, and then out. So I'm looking for something like that to have happen again. Like I said, these markets are they're in a state of of unpredictability. The probability of being wrong is going up by the day. So I need to take that in consideration. What has happened may not happen in the future here as it usually does. But I am definitely looking for something like this. And if I begin to see the formation of this coming down to levels like this is a big resistance turn support level, and this starts to push up and back down, and we start to see that squeezing. Definitely, I'm going to look for this thing to break topside, and when it does, I'm going to look for that retest and to take it long from there to break out of this channel here, because this has been in place for a long time. Since September here, we're getting very close to breaking out of this channel. And although we can trade within the channel, we always like the breakouts, because once they break, you hold them and you make you make your year's salary. There you go. But that's what we're looking for on pound yen coming up here real soon. Take a peek at Bitcoin. I know probably I'll get a lot of people hate me. The Bitcoin lovers hate me, but this, you got to go with reality. Look, we had a build up and for Bitcoin here, and it was looking good. We hit all of our targets in Bitcoin. This is our last target up here. We've been neutral since then. I'm looking for something like this. Please do not hate me, you Bitcoin lovers, but this is what we're looking for. I'm looking for this level right here, 45.1, 45,100. I'm looking at that level very, very carefully. If we begin to roll over at that level, I thinking I may have to get short Bitcoin for a long haul, for a deep dive, something like this. All right, don't hate me. I'm just trading it. That is the way it is. But again, I'm looking for that 45.1 up there, and what it does up there, if it holds that resistance, if that proves to be strong resistance, it holds that level and starts to roll over there, I think the movement to the upside in Bitcoin is done for right now, and we're going to have to be looking at a bearish move in Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin finishes up before the others do. It's kind of a leading indicator to me. And if that happens at that level, it's telling me something. I got to pay attention to it. So no trades on Bitcoin this week. I'm not going to take it long up there. If you want to, go ahead. I'm pretty sure it's going to get up to that level of 45. I'm not doing it. I'm looking more so to see what happens at that level. And that's where I'm going to make a decision whether to trade Bitcoin or not. For currencies, this is the last one I'm going to do here. I'm going to do euro dollar. We're coming up against some support here. I'm expecting a bounce. So I'm expecting something like this. We were long earlier this year, a few months ago on this, and it broke the level and we got stopped out of the trade. But what I see now is we do something like this and we roll back over, maybe bang along this a little bit more, but we're gonna break this, okay? And we're gonna come down here to 1.051. I'm going to look at this pullback probably in the neighborhood of about 1.828, somewhere up in there. I'm going to look at that area right there. And if it starts to roll over there, I'm going to probably take a short there. We're going to bang around here. I mean, this could really get nasty in here. So don't take a short unless you've got, unless you're brave, because this area right in here is going to get nasty. Okay. And but once it gets free of that and it breaks low, it's going to break low, and then we're going to look at the next level, which is going to come in at 1.051. And once we get there, things are really going to get interesting, because we're probably going to have another block of nastiness right here. All right. And that's going to be probably worse than this one right here. And it's going to stay in there for a while until it breaks through this level right here. And eventually it's going to break through and head on down. So that's my outlook for euro dollar. And we're going to keep an eye on that. But again, if we get a pullback this week and it starts to roll, I'm going to get involved in this, ride it through the rough patches, and then until it breaks out to the downside here for euro dollar. And just a little bit on vol. VIX is looking like it's still in compression. we know pretty much which way this is going to roll. It's going to roll to the top side. You can kind of see it here now. It's making higher lows. You see that right there, higher low, a little higher low, a little higher low, and we're looking maybe for another little higher low there. We're getting higher highs there, except for this one. It didn't quite peak out, kind of almost broke even with the other one. But again, we're looking at this from a lens where, you know, if we threw a channel line on it, we could do that. It wouldn't be the best channel line in the world. Brighten that up a little bit. But you know, the writing's on the wall. I think the VIX is going to head up this coming week. I think we may be at the bottom here. We may poke through this a little bit, but it starts to roll back up again. The question is when it breaks this channel up here, that's when things get interesting, and we start pushing up higher. That's when it gets interesting. So keep an eye on the VIX. I'm expecting it to start to bubble here and start to push its way topside. Very interesting for the VIX, being in this compression zone, this range zone. It looks like it's just coiling up to launch topside. So keep an eye on the VIX. And then the 10-year. We're just going to finish up with the 10-year. Again, it was making this move. We kind of had a target up here about 4.3. Don't know if it gets there, but if it pulls back, breaks, pushes up and gets there, I would look for that to be the top out zone and for this thing to start to roll over again. I don't believe that rates are going to bottom feed again. All right, I just believe the high 2s, low 3s is where we head to, but I do believe that rates are going to be coming down before they start heading back up, and I do believe that rates are going long or higher for longer, I should say. But we're going to have that initial pullback first before that takes place. How all that works out, what happens to cause that to happen, I have no idea. Okay, but it's in the cards. You can see it. I mean, you look this thing back in the weeklies and you can see just, you know, the pattern is clear. It's down, up, pull back, retest, and then off to the races. This thing could go sky high. I'm just looking to trade this pullback right here. Could it get down into ones? It possibly could. If things get bad enough, yeah, they could push it down there. But down here, no. I don't believe that. It just doesn't seem in the cards right now. So again, I am just going to take this step by step. That's our support zone right now. If it snaps that support zone, things get ugly enough, yeah, it can come down here to this next support zone. That sets at 1.62. But for now, a little bit up, and then I think a continuation in the downside. Liking gold long. I know I didn't go through gold. It's been a pain in the butt because it's been going sideways, but I'm looking for gold to go long. So this would fit that scenario, but we may go up more before that happens and then down, and that's our gold trade. We're in gold long, by the way, so just FYI. Again, we have a wonderful community called 7X Investors that you can join for free. I'm putting the plug in.
Yo. Welcome to Shameless Plugs Live.
Because it's a great place to be to figure out what you want to do if you want to trade futures, Forex, and we can help you. We can answer some questions for you. If you post questions, people in the group can answer questions for you, help you initially with your trading, get some free training in there. And once that happens, then you can really clarify the direction you want to take your trading in. Whether it's futures or Forex, you can clarify that. And then with that being known, you can put yourself in a mentorship program and start learning how to do this business. We have some tools in there that's going to help you be able to make money while you're learning how to do this business. And that's really important because a lot of people, you've got to have some sort of money coming in while you're learning how to trade. Some people do that with a job. That makes it really tough because the time the markets are moving is generally when you're at your job. So a good way of doing that is finding other mechanisms that you can put in place to make your money for trading. You can go into a long-term trade program where you put your trades in there at certain points. You just let them go. You can go to your job. You can work. Or if you're in day trading, we have opportunities for day trading where if you can use that time to set at the screen and figure stuff out and run with it, that's great. We have both. So go ahead, give us a look, come inside, poke around. Free account, doesn't cost you anything up front. So just look around. If you do decide to go into one of our mentorship programs, they're priced relatively low so you can take advantage of things. We trade live so you can get in those live trades so you can make your money. That's what we like to see people do as they learn how to trade. So that does it for this week for the look ahead. Take care. Best of luck to you. Again, be careful in this market. It's going to start to get dicey. Take care and good luck in your trading.